Hi, I'm Cheryl Goldstein, EVP Member Engagement and Development at the IAB. I am pleased to introduce David Katz, the new VP of Product Management at YouTube for Shopping. Before joining YouTube, he was the Chief Product Officer at Afterpay, the SVP of Product and Design at Fanatics, and also held senior roles at Groupon, Yahoo, and McKinsey. He has many, many years of e-commerce experience under his belt, and we're really excited to have him here today.
Thanks, Cheryl. It's great to be here at the IAB Brand Disruption Summit. I've been in the e-commerce space for a while, and we've all seen the landscape change and grow. We all know that during the pandemic, online shopping had its moment. In 2020 alone, e-commerce grew almost 30% worldwide. People spent their days shopping online from their couches or on those extra tough days from their beds. We were all there. All of a sudden, e-commerce was our only real option, and YouTube creators knew that.
Oh my goodness, we have to talk about these jeans.
Average daily uploads of videos with Shop With Me in the title increased over 60% year over year. Brands scrambled to adapt their strategies to this change. Of course, some had it easier. For brands that were selling disinfectant, toilet paper, or yeast, sales skyrocketed. But others had to think on their feet. The ones that recognized the need to pivot immediately, and in some cases radically, were the most successful. The most nimble retailers reprioritized their spending, upped their digital investments dramatically.
If you want to shop any of the products that you saw today, go ahead and click the links down below.
What the pandemic did, really, was speed up the inevitable for online shopping.
Lockdown has been the month of checkout.
E-commerce evolved 10 years and 6 months. We've heard that so often now it's become a cliche. But it really did force brands to experiment and innovate in real time. They had to in order to stay afloat as demand shifted in ways no one could have ever predicted. They tried new tools, new products, new strategies, and tested on the fly because there was no playbook for retail during a pandemic. Even when brick and mortar stores did begin to open back up, people still wanted to shop online. Whether it was convenience or inertia, it became the new normal. And for this reason, many advertisers started leaning more heavily into video. Video is the singular, visually engaging medium that can actually substitute for seeing a product in person. And as customers grew more comfortable making higher consideration purchases, online brands realized how critical video could be.
My name is Sean Lavery, and since it's grilling season, I want to show you an item that is going to help you level up your grilling game.
The new reality is that brands are going to have to continue leaning really heavily into digital shopping, or they'll fall behind. We want to help brands and retailers continue adapting to this new shopping reality and be a partner as they keep trying new strategies to see what clicks. Which takes us back to video. Video is a flexible medium. That's one of its virtues. Shoppers use YouTube for entertainment, inspiration, and exploration. It's also a great place to just hunt for information. People are open to new discoveries when they're watching video, and the combination of endless content and deep personalization means the potential for surprise and delight is always high. The combination of entertainment, utility, and authenticity is powerful. In fact, 87% of viewers say that when they're shopping or browsing on YouTube, they feel like they can make a decision to purchase faster. And of course, creators are the heart of YouTube. When it comes to shopping, there's a unique level of credibility with creators. Viewers feel personally connected to them, and that social aspect builds trust.
Okay, so I've held a Pixel 6. Let's talk about it.
They know that their favorite creators consistently make reliable recommendations and give honest takes.
Oh, I'm not a fan of this one, guys.
Even viewers who don't follow specific creators find YouTube content helpful for learning about products. Creator-generated content feels authentic. That's a huge distinction from more highly produced formats. Real thoughts from real people. And the sheer volume of creator content on the platform just covers so much ground. Viewers get their questions answered and walk away feeling empowered and informed. That feeling builds confidence and helps move shoppers towards their purchase decision. YouTube is always developing new ways to harness this influence that's so unique to the platform, whether it's through shoppable videos, personalized recommendations, or live shopping. We've got some really exciting plans on the horizon, and I'll be sharing some of those today. Cheryl and I will be chatting about what's going on in the world of social commerce and how marketers can be ready for the future of streaming and shopping.
So one of the things you said, what's important to these creators is trust. And we know that it's the bond that these creators have with their audience, with their followers. It's all on trust and authenticity. So how should brands tap into that? How do they find the right creator to marry with their brand?
Yeah, I think that what's important is that brands think about how they want to connect. First, kind of tactically and then operationally. Tactically, do we want to do a partnership? Do we want to invest in paid ads? Very important. But then as they're thinking about how to work with creators, I think it really comes back to that authenticity. The power of the YouTube platform is this really authentic relationship that creators are forming with their fans, with their viewers. You want to find creators who are going to have a personal connection with your brand, where your brand is going to harmoniously become part of that relationship. And then I guess the other thing that I'd think about is, reach diverse audiences. Make sure that you're considering that as you think about your partnership strategy. The example that I really like is Madewell, which partnered with a diverse range of creators. So they went to Exo McKenna, a home renovator connoisseur, Joe Franco, a multilingual storyteller. The net was they increased searches for Madewell on the platform by 10x.
Some brands have been leaning into social commerce for a while. Who do you think's doing it well, and what do you admire about their strategy?
This fall we partnered with Walmart, Sephora, and Target to run several shoppable live stream pilots. Sephora beauty directors hosted a live Q&A about makeup foundations. Target performed a live style haul about overcoming fashion fears, and Raven Elise went live to sell her favorite home workout gear and morning routine essentials from Walmart. And it's interesting, Walmart's also been trying out some of our shoppable CTC ads. Building on the success of these pilots, I'm really excited to announce the YouTube Holiday Stream and Shop event kicking off on November 15th. This is a week of shoppable live streams featuring both brands and top creators dropping exclusive products and deals on their channels. The Merrill twins are going to kick the week off sharing their holiday wish list from 3 brands: Walmart, Samsung, and Verizon. Fans tuning in will be able to interact with the creators and other viewers, score new products, unlock deals and discounts, and get their questions answered through polls and chats. You can find all the streams on YouTube starting on November 15th, and we can't wait to share what we have in store, including other shoppable videos and personalized product recommendations.
So David, this is a really big initiative, and I know a lot of work went into developing the strategy. Tell me a little bit about this, where you got the insights and developed the strategy for this big offering.
Yeah, we did some interesting research this summer with Publicis Group and TalkShop. Talked to 2,000 viewers, and we got a couple of interesting insights. So, 1, 89% of viewers agree that YouTube creators give recommendations they can trust. There's that relationship with the creators. 87% of people say that when they're shopping or browsing on YouTube, they feel like they get the highest quality information about products. So there's some authenticity in the platform. And then the kicker for me is 70% of YouTube viewers said that they bought a brand as a result of seeing it on YouTube. So you see that whole connectivity from the relationship with the platform through to purchase.
So David, if I'm a marketer and I have limited budget to do these sort of things, and there's multiple options, there's Instagram, TikTok, why YouTube? What makes it different? And what can I expect to get from YouTube versus these other platforms?
Yeah, fundamentally it comes down to the medium and the messenger. The medium, and especially kind of long-form video in the YouTube environment, is so powerful and immersive. It gives such richness to the brand, to the product. The messenger is the other element of this, and I think it's really important to think about the relationship that YouTube creators are building with their viewers. YouTube creators built these deep and authentic, trusting relationships with their viewers, and I think that that's something that you don't see on other platforms.
This seems like it's a fairly easy addition to a D2C brand who's used to working in the digital virtual world. What about a traditional retailer? How can they leverage creators to have this in-store online marriage?
I mean, for all of the energy around e-commerce growth in the pandemic, 73% of all 2020 holiday sales in the US happened in store. I mean, brick and mortar is absolutely not dead. The thing that's really interesting is that the line between in-store and digital is getting very blurry. You see this in the rise of BOPIS, buy online and pick up in store, and all of these other hybrid models where you see consideration and decision-making online, maybe the final transaction happening in store, maybe even transaction happening online with a pickup. All of these things are starting to blend together. We looked at a 2020 study. 48% of YouTube viewers said that sponsored or branded content on YouTube made them more likely to actually go in store and look for the brand or the product. That same study also showed that YouTube viewers are about twice as likely to go in store or online to buy something that they saw on YouTube versus the competitive average.
So David, this has been a great conversation. Thank you for joining me today. I wish you the best of luck, and this is really great news. Good luck to you. Thank you again, David.
Thanks, Cheryl. This has been great.